A very good afternoon, everyone. How are you all? Yes, I am good. Thank you very much. So, my lovely friends, another day, another topic. Today, yes, yes, we will be discussing about markets today in a bit more detail. You remember, two topics back. I mean, two classes back. I had taught you on markets. Perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. I had taught you about this topic, but in a very, what should I say? In a very small sense, in a very limited sense, we had covered it. But today we are here discussing this very topic, but in quite a broad sense. Yes. So let's have it. Let's have it. Let's start the discussion and let's see what we can learn today. Okay. So guys, as per as per as per number of sellers in the market, or as per economic system prevailing, you know some types of markets that we could identify was, I mean, economic system, or I would rather say economic structure, market structures. I could help you with some of them, starting right away with perfect competition. Today we will discuss each market, not only today, my dear friends, not only today. In fact, in the upcoming classes also, we will discuss each market in a lot more details, because that's what our syllabus demands. Okay, so perfect competition, here we have it. Okay, perfect competition, here we have it. Followed by perfect competition, there is monopoly market, there is monopolistic competition, followed by which there is oligopoly. Okay, but friends, these are the four main topics, which we have got to know, which we have got to understand pretty well. But yes, there is another heading which I am putting, which is called miscellaneous types of market. Miscellaneous is basically a mix of the previous four. These are some general markets, the only meaning of which you need to know, like for example monopsony, okay, duopoly, okay, bilateral monopoly, terms like this, we will study under the miscellaneous category. So it is very simple in that way. Sir, is this chapter interesting? Easy? Very. Sir, what do we need to do? Just focus on listening. If you become a good listener, I'm telling you this not only for foundation but for your entire CA journey. If you become a good listener, my experience tells me that if you become a good listener, 50% to 60% of your problem is solved as far as understanding things is concerned. Most of us already have a query running in mind and we are not listening to what the other person is saying. So focus on this and yes, you will be there. Trust me on this. Okay, you will understand everything. Okay, so having said that, let's start with perfect competition. Shall we, friends? Yes. Perfect competition. My dear friends, perfect competition is one of those markets which, I'll remind you, there is no real example. I mean, I cannot cite one example which has all the features which a perfectly competitive market has. Yes, some features might be common. Yes, there is no doubt about the fact that some features might be common, but there is no single market which you can say that it's exactly perfect competition. Nothing is called exactly. Yes, vegetable market resembles perfect competition but is not exactly perfect competition. It would be utterly wrong to even think of that. Okay, having said that, let's come to the key discussion. Okay, which is, what is perfect competition? My dear friends, please remember, before starting, I am telling that this market, perfect competition, is not existing in reality. Please pay attention. Okay, so having said that, let's start. It's a market, my dear friends, which is characterized by large number of sellers and buyers. When I say large, I would rather write very large. You could say, you could use the word infinite even. You know, there are large number of sellers and buyers, large number of. And you know what happens as a result of this? When both are large in quantity, sellers will have no single control over price. It means seller cannot say that, okay, I will decide what the price is. No single control over price. And on the other hand, guys, same goes with the buyer. No single control over price. So, sir, our question is, then what happens here? What is the price at which products will be sold here? Since you are telling that nobody has a single control, that's what I'm saying. It's the market forces of demand and supply. It is the market forces of demand and supply that decide the price, that decide price in this kind of market. It's the market forces of demand and supply that decide the price in this market. It's not entirely, please remember, it's not entirely the sellers, it's not entirely the buyers. I'll repeat for you, it's the market forces of demand and supply that help in deciding the price in such a market, you know. It's the buyers and the sellers both. Okay, so please remember, you know, market forces. You remember the last class we had learned demand and supply diagram, where demand and supply used to intersect. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It is also called in another name price mechanism. That diagram is also called price mechanism. Sir, which diagram are you referring to? Can you clear us? Yes, I am referring to this diagram. Demand curve, supply curve. I hope you remember. Yes, we had practiced a lot of it in the last class. Exactly my point. So that's what I'm talking about here. Market forces of demand and supply, you know, in this kind of markets decide the price. Okay. Moving on. Point number 3. Yeah, what is point number 3, sir? It's a market characterized by homogeneous products. It's a market characterized by homogeneous products. It's a market characterized by homogeneous products. Yes, it's a market characterized by homogeneous products. Homogeneous or identical products? Homogeneous or identical products. Sir, what do you mean by homogeneous or identical products? Homogeneous or identical products means products which are exactly the same. Products which are exactly the same. Products which are exactly the same. Homogeneous products are the ones which are exactly the same. I mean, there is no difference. Between products sold by two different sellers. So suppose this is seller 1, this is seller 2, and this is seller 3. So you know all the things regarding the product. You know the size of this product, the quality, okay, the content, the guarantee, the warranty with respect to the product. Okay, every single thing is exactly the same. So you are telling there is no difference in between the products. Yes, you have heard it correct, my dear friends. There is no difference in the product. Products are exactly the same of each seller. I mean, if you they are so same that even if seller 1 gives 50% discount, na, seller 2 and seller 3 are giving 50% discount. If say seller 1 is giving you a warranty of 2 years, seller 2 and 3 will give you a warranty of 2 years. I mean, the products are that homogeneous. Color, brand is the same. Even the warranty, guarantee, etc., service conditions are the same. They are so similar. Exactly. Why using the word similar? They are exactly the same. Okay, that's homogeneous or identical. Oh, sir, is that so? Yes. Sir, first 3 points, can you summarize it in Hindi also? Yes. In Hindi, I will tell you. Perfect competition जैसा मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर रियल में एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता है. इसको हम लोग केवल थ्योरेटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव से स्टडी करते हैं. अब पहला इसका फीचर है कि इसमें बहुत सारे सेलर्स और बायर्स होते हैं. ये एक ऐसा मार्केट है जहां पे अनगिनत सेलर्स और बायर्स होते हैं. ठीक है. अब क्योंकि अनगिनत सेलर्स और बायर्स होते हैं, तो ना एक सिंगल सेलर के पास बहुत ज्यादा पावर है, ना एक सिंगल बायर के पास बहुत ज्यादा पावर है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि सेलर बोले कि मार्केट में मैं ये प्राइस चार्ज करूंगा, ना ये हो सकता है कि बायर बोले कि मैं जो चार्ज करूंगा, वो मैं जो पे करने को रेडी हूं सेलर, तुम्हें वो चार्ज करना होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि सेलर्स इतने सारे हैं कि बायर को फर्क नहीं पड़ता और बायर्स इतने सारे हैं कि सेलर को फर्क नहीं पड़ता। इस वजह से प्राइसेस कौन डिसाइड करता है? डिमांड और सप्लाई का इंटरसेक्शन प्राइस डिसाइड करता है। और साथ ही साथ हमने आपको बताया कि इस मार्केट में, परफेक्टली कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट में, परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट ऐसा मार्केट है जहां पर प्रोडक्ट्स एग्जैक्टली सेम है। मतलब सप्लायर 1, सप्लायर 2 और सप्लायर 3, अगर 3 सप्लायर है, ऐसे तो इनफाइनाइट होते हैं, बट अगर आप 3 सप्लायर के प्रोडक्ट्स उठा के देखोगे, उन प्रोडक्ट का साइज, कलर, ब्रांड, कंटेंट, शेप, वारंटी, गारंटी सब कुछ सेम है उन प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर। ओके, सो दीज आर द फर्स्ट 3 पॉइंट्स। गाइज, इज इट क्रिस्टल क्लियर? यस और नो? यो और नो इन द चैट। कम ऑन एवरीबॉडी, फटाफट फटाफट फटाफट। ओके ओके, मूविंग ऑन। वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। Yes, Ekta, it is perfect competition. It is perfect competition because there are many sellers. Okay. Yes, sir. Now moving on. Number 4. Number 4. Freedom of entry and exit. Freedom of entry and exit. What is this market? My dear friends, it's a market characterized by freedom of entry and exit. What does it mean, sir? Freedom of entry and exit. Lovely friends, freedom of entry and exit simply means that suppose, there are 10 sellers already in the market. Just giving an example, okay? Let's say there are 4 sellers already in the market. So if this is the 5th seller, he is planning to enter the market, he is free to do so. I mean, there are no barriers, government will not restrict him. So no barriers to entry or exit. No barriers to entry or exit. I mean, there is no legal rule that, to enter the market, you have to do this and that. There is nothing as such. There is complete freedom. You want to come into the market, come. You want to leave, leave. So suppose one of these sellers wants to leave the market. Their choice. Your life, your rules. Perfect competition is like that. Perfect competition is like that. Nobody will tell you that, you need to have this much of, turnover in order to enter this market. You need to take a license from the government or so on and so forth. No, nothing as such needs to be done. Nothing as such needs to be done. Nothing as such needs to be done. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's how you go about it. That's how you go about it. That's how you go about it, guys. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, great. So yes, here you can see no barriers to entry or exit. No barriers to entry or exit. Freedom of entry and exit. Point number 4. Great, sir. So like there are no rules and regulations, like you have to do this and that in order to enter the market. You can just straight away enter into the market, do your work and leave. Nobody is going to stop you. Okay. Point number 5, lovely friends. Lovely friends, point number 5. Okay. Point number 5, lovely friends. Okay. It's a market characterized by no transportation and transaction costs. No transportation and transaction costs. Sir, why is it so? Sir, why do we assume? It is just an assumption. Now, when I was a student, friends, I was always wondering why. Because this assumption is very important. Can any one of you tell me why? Let me give you 2 minutes time. Can any of you tell me why this assumption was important in the case of perfect competition market? Can you tell me, guys, why? I'll wait for 2 minutes, no issues. Yes, Ashfiya, you are correct. Okay. So yes, why no transaction cost? Because you see, we have told that the products here are homogeneous. So if the product has to be homogeneous, the prices of all products should be same. Price charged by all the sellers should be same. Okay. Now pay attention, everyone. Now pay attention, everyone. Let me give you an example. Okay. Suppose there is a seller in Kolkata. Okay. Suppose there is a seller in Delhi. Okay. Now the buyer is from Delhi. Suppose the Kolkata seller and the Delhi seller are both ready to sell the product at 100 rupees. But the Kolkata seller tells this Delhi buyer that, dear Delhi buyer, since I am transporting, my transportation or transaction cost will be 50 rupees. So total buyer you will have to pay 150 rupees. But the seller in Delhi tells that, dear buyer in Delhi, come to me. Why? Because I am not taking from you any transaction cost. So I will give you at 100 only. Now you see, this has broken the assumption of perfect competition. Now these are two different commodities. Why? Because one is being sold at 150, one is being sold at 100. Now the economists wanted a perfect world. In order to get a perfect world, such kind of differences needs to be avoided, and therefore the assumption taken was no transportation cost, so that the condition of homogeneity could be respected. Homogeneity condition means that all the prices are same for the products. It's not different for different sellers. Okay, are you getting it, guys? And that's why the homogeneity point was mentioned. Yeah, yes, very good, Kirti. Very good, Himanshu. Sakaldeep, fantastic. All of you given the correct logic, correct. And that's why, in order to maintain the homogeneity condition, so therefore there is no transportation or transaction costs as such. Moving on to point number 6. Here the firms are price takers. Firms don't decide the price. Firms take the price decided by the market. So who is the price maker? Price maker is the market. Market is the price maker. Market is the price maker. Market is the price maker. Yes, friends, market is the price maker. Correct. So guys, let me summarize the next 3 points for you, next 3 features for you in Hindi, so that you people are able to arrive at the same page. Okay. Point number 4 मैंने बताया, freedom of entry and exit. इसका अर्थ ये होता है कि अगर एक सेलर मार्केट में प्रोडक्ट बेचने का डिसीजन ले, पहले वो सेलर नहीं था पर अब वो सेलर है, तो उसको मोस्ट वेलकम है मार्केट में. ऐसा नहीं है कि गवर्नमेंट का कोई लीगल लॉज एंड रेगुलेशंस है जो उसे फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे. कोई ऐसा बैरियर नहीं है, कोई लाइसेंसिंग रिक्वायरमेंट या सच कुछ नहीं है. सिमिलरली अगर कोई ऐसा सेलर है जो इस मार्केट में काफी समय तक है और अब वो बोलता है कि भैया मुझे इस मार्केट में ऑपरेट नहीं करना है, तो जाइए, नोबडी स्टॉपिंग यू. ओके, तो ये है फ्रीडम ऑफ एंट्री एंड एग्जिट. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट था नो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट. इस मार्केट में अज्यूम किया जाता है कि एक जगह से दूसरे जगह पे प्रोडक्ट बेचने के लिए ना तो बीच में कोई खर्चा, ना कोई ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का, ना ट्रांजैक्शन का कोई खर्चा होने लग रहा है. क्यों पता है? ऐसा अजम्पशन इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है दोस्तों, जिससे सारे सेलर्स का प्राइस सेम रह सके. अदरवाइज होने क्या लगेगा कि एक का प्राइस 100 रहेगा, एक का प्राइस 150. फिर वो जो हम लोग होमोजीनियस चिल्ला रहे हैं, उस बात का कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं रह जाएगा इस वजह से. और मूविंग ऑन, लास्ट पॉइंट, यहां पर फर्म प्राइस डिसाइड नहीं करता है, फर्म मार्केट का डिसाइड किया हुआ प्राइस को एक्सेप्ट करता है. तो फर्म को हम लोग प्राइस टेकर कहते हैं और मार्केट को हम लोग प्राइस मेकर कहते हैं. फर्म को हम लोग प्राइस टेकर कहते हैं, मार्केट को हम लोग प्राइस मेकर कहते हैं. 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 क्लियर है? जी सर, क्लियर होना चाहिए. अब माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इफ दिस इज क्लियर, देन आई विल डिस्कस विथ यू हाउ टू डिसाइड the prices under this market. You know how prices are decided under this market, and you will be bored with the diagram, because you have seen this diagram a lot number of times in the last class itself. Price determination under perfect competition is like this, lovely friends, you see. इस तरह से प्राइस डिटरमाइन होता है. ओके, सो ये डिमांड, ये सप्लाई, आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑलरेडी, and this is the intersection produced. So my lovely friends, there is this supply curve, there is this demand curve. Okay, so here it is price, here it is quantity. So this is the equilibrium price and this is the equilibrium quantity, and this is how you operate, my dear friends. This is how you operate, my dear friends. All right, so that is how price determination takes place. That is how price determination takes place here. That's how price determination takes place here. Great, sir. And you know what? One interesting thing I'll tell you, that since I'll repeat this diagram for you all. Okay, sir, why you tell us? I'll tell you why. That whatever the demand and supply forces decide, you know, this is the market. This is the market diagram. You know, this is happening in the market. Total demand, total supply intersection we are looking at. Okay, price and quantity. So we have seen that the market has decided this price to be charged. So we can see the market has decided this price to be charged. My dear friends, since this price is to be charged, it has become set. It has become set. Meaning that if you want this, you know, just have a look. Pay attention, everyone. Here it is price. Here it is quantity. So the price that will be charged in the market by each seller. No seller will charge a different price. And so the price determination is like this. So this is the price determined by the individual seller. So here we are talking about the individual seller. That's why we say market is here firms are price takers, not price makers, because they are dependent on market determined price. You see, they are dependent on market determined price. They are not choosing their own price as such. This is the characteristic of a perfectly competitive market. My dear friends, is this much clear till here? What say everyone? What say everyone? Fatafat everyone. What say everyone? Come on yaar. Fatafat guys. Yes sir. Now I'll tell you one more thing. Guys here. Okay, yes sir, please tell us. Here my dear friends, in order to achieve equilibrium, because you remember, I have told you in perfect competition, price cannot be changed. Price cannot be changed. Sir, what do you mean by price cannot be changed? I'll tell you what. Please pay attention. Suppose price is charged 5 rupees. So everywhere it will be 5 rupees only. Quantity 1, 2, 3, 4. So total revenue will be 5 into 1, 5. 5 into 2, 10, 15, 20. Average revenue, I have always told you, is equivalent to price. How? 5 divided by 1, 5. 10 divided by 2, 5. 15 divided by 3, 5. And 20 divided by 4, 5. And what is marginal revenue? For the first product, marginal revenue and total revenue are always the same. So TR is 5. Now see, it is changing by how much? 5. It is changing by how much? 5. Changing by how much? 5. Yes, sir. So what I am trying to say is that not only this level that you have arrived at, not only is this the price, this is the price as well as the average revenue curve as well as the marginal revenue under perfect competition. 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 Yes, sir, you are correct. We have done these diagrams last day. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now pay attention, everyone. Having said all this, now I'll tell you one more interesting thing. You pay attention. See, this is price, this is quantity. At this level, price equals to average revenue equals to marginal revenue, right? Yes, sir. Now pay attention, guys. Let me draw for you a U-shaped curve. A U-shaped curve. It's called marginal cost curve. It's called marginal cost curve. A U-shaped curve is called marginal cost curve. So here it is, the marginal cost curve. So you see the marginal cost curve. Sir, what are you trying to teach us now? I am trying to teach you condition for equilibrium. I am trying to teach you condition for equilibrium. You know, so equilibrium conditions here. My dear friends, equilibrium condition. Equilibrium condition, or yes, equilibrium condition. Now pay attention, everyone. Okay. So see. So pay attention, everyone. There are two equilibrium conditions here. And sir, we have studied this in our last classes as well. Yes, the two equilibrium conditions are, please pay attention, that equilibrium is achieved by the seller when marginal cost is equals to marginal revenue, and number two, MC cuts MR from below. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You see, in this diagram, because you know marginal cost curve is U-shaped. Now don't ask me why. Because of law of variable proportions. We have done it in production. Okay, so see, at this level, and at this level. Guys, please remember that in economics, chapters are interrelated. So suppose you have not studied production and now you are seeing this diagram. Obviously, you will say that what is sir doing? What is sir telling? The reason is production is missed by you. So please remember there has to be continuity maintained. Okay, that's the point of entire course of chartered accountancy, consistency. Okay, so pay attention here. So guys, you can see here MC equals to MR at two levels. Let's say this is level A and this is level B. My dear friends, let me tell you something. MC equals to MR at 2 points. But do you know which point will be the equilibrium one? Point B. Why? Because you see, if you stop here only at point A, it means to you are making losses. When MR is greater than MC at this point, you want to achieve this point. It means with every additional product sold, the selling price is greater than the cost price of making that additional product, right? You want that. That's why you will continue to produce till point B. So here point B is the equilibrium point. Which point is the equilibrium point? B is the equilibrium point. The point from where MC is cutting MR from below and not from above, guys. And not from above, guys. And not from above, guys. All right, sir, got it. Guys, is this much crystal clear? Yes, no, yo or no in the chat. Come on, everyone, need your confirmation. Fatafat. क्या बात है, क्या बात है. Great, great, great. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, okay, okay. अभी ध्यान से सुनिए. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. So now, my dear friends, the thing is what? My dear friends, the thing is what? Pay attention, guys. Okay? So have a look here. Have a look here. See. Have a look here. It is this. Now see. Now see. Now see. Now see. After telling all this, I'll tell you one more fact. Please listen to me very carefully. It's a very important thing I am telling you. Guys, you all see in the production chapter I have taught you this. This is average cost. This is average cost. This is average cost. Correct? Yes, sir. Now pay attention, everyone. Average cost is here and average variable cost is somewhere here. Okay? Average variable cost is somewhere here. Now pay attention, guys. You have seen this diagram before in the chapter of cost. In the chapter of cost, I have taught this. I have taught this. So pay attention, everyone. Now what happens is, suppose this is marginal cost. So marginal cost curve, cuts the AVC and AC from below. You all know this. I am quite sure. You people are supremely intelligent. So point A, point B. Okay. Now guys, have a look here. Have a look here. Pay attention here. Now what's going on is, friends, now what's going on is, have a look here. See, the thing is that when MC is cutting AVC and AC from below, when MC is cutting AVC and AC from below, when MC is cutting AVC and AC from below, what is happening? You all see what is happening. What is happening is, dosto, pay attention to each and everything that I am saying. What is happening is, friends, that point A has a special significance. Point A here has a special significance. You will not want a firm to produce at a level where they are not able to meet even the variable costs. I have told you this. So for firm to produce, when should it start deciding to produce? Beyond point A. Firm should at least recover. Firm should at least recover average variable cost. Even if they are not able to recover fixed cost, that's okay, understandable. But if you are not able to recover even the variable cost, then you are in a serious situation. So what I'm trying to say is, each firm should be in a position to at least recover average variable cost. Average variable cost. हर फर्म कम से कम अपना वेरिएबल कॉस्ट तो रिकवर कर लेना चाहिए. Now let's say this is the price P1, price 1, price at which firm is able to recover average variable cost. So you see at point A, price is equals to average variable cost, isn't it, friends? That is, the firm is able to recover its variable costs at least. Yes, firm is able to recover its variable cost at least. I'll give you an example. Suppose I have taken a machine on rent, which costs me, let's say, 50 rupees per unit. Rent is 50 rupees per unit, fixed rent, okay? And 100 rupees is the variable cost. Guys, my price should be such that I am at least able to recover this 100 rupees. Because fixed cost will be incurred even if I am not producing anything. Fixed cost is going to be incurred even if I am not producing anything. So at least I must be in a position to recover variable cost. If I am not able to recover variable cost, now I should shut down. So that's why point A is called the shutdown point. What is it called? Shutdown point. Shutdown point is a point below which firm should not produce. Firm should not produce. They should stop production. See, stopping production and shutdown doesn't mean close the business and go home. I am not saying you should close the business and go home. What it simply means is, it must be in a position to recover at least the variable costs. It must be in a position to recover. It means the firm should be in a position at least to recover the variable costs. Beyond that, whatever it is, at least you must recover the variable cost, and that's the shutdown point. So my dear friends, have a look here. So that's the shutdown point. This line I am showing you in red. From here to here, all is good. The red line that you see, it's a part of MC curve. It's a part of marginal cost curve. So please remember, everyone, below point A, firm will not produce, because below point A, if the price is, it simply means that the firm is not able to recover variable cost. And you know, there is another price which is interesting to worth note. You see, price level 2, P2, at point B. What is happening here, sir? I'll tell you. Guys, at point B, price is equals to average cost. This is not called shutdown point. This is called break-even point. Break-even point means the firm is neither incurring any profit nor incurring any loss, neither receiving any profit nor incurring any loss, neither benefiting from any profit nor incurring any loss. That's what it means. That's what it simply means. That's what it means. Is it clear, everyone? Come on, guys. Come on, yaar. Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. Yes, sir, we will remember. So yes, at B, price is equals to average cost. At point B, price is equals to average cost. That's the break-even point. And friends, remember one thing. And my lovely friends, please remember one thing. And my lovely friends, please remember one thing. Price equals to average cost indicates break-even point. Remember, shutdown point and break-even point अलग-अलग बातें हैं. I'll tell it in Hindi and then in English. Please listen to me very carefully. दोस्तों, break-even point एक ऐसा point है जिधर आप अगर हो, break-even point एक ऐसा point है जिधर पे अगर आप हो, तो इसका अर्थ ये है कि आप ना तो फायदा कर रहे हो ना आप नुकसान कर रहे हो. परंतु अगर आप शटडाउन पॉइंट पर हो, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप फायदा कर रहे हो, बिल्कुल नहीं, आप नुकसान ही कर रहे हो. बट शटडाउन पॉइंट पर होने का अर्थ है कि आप इतना प्राइस तो चार्ज कर ले रहे हो कि आप एटलीस्ट अपना वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर कर ले रहे हो. मान लीजिए मान लीजिए, let's consider that I am operating a cab service. Okay, I have bought a new cab. Okay, now the rent per year, or yes, I am taking it on rent. So the rent per year or the installment per year for the cab is 2 lakh, which I have to pay till 5 years. It is fixed. Matlab nothing on earth can change this. This is fixed cost. But in addition to this, I have to pay the price of petrol. Let's say 100 rupees. Shutdown point means I am in a position to collect the fare and at least recover this petrol ka kharcha, this petrol cost. Getting it, friends? Yes, sir, we are getting it. Yes, we are getting it, sir. So therefore, below which point should the firm shut down operation? Okay, and so remember, at shutdown point, remember, write it down, everyone. At shutdown point, the loss of a firm is equivalent to the fixed cost which is fixed, because it implies that the firm is able to recover all the variable costs. Since the firm is able to recover all the variable costs, guys, it goes on to say definitely it goes on to say that the firm is able to recover all the fixed cost, I mean the variable cost. So the loss is equivalent to fixed cost. Okay, so friends, I will repeat it for you. Write it down, and then one more thing I will teach you. Pay attention. So when price is equals to average cost, this is indicative of break even point. But when price is equals to average variable cost, my lovely friends, that is indicative of shutdown point. And my dear friends, one more thing that I was telling you is that you all understand that for supply to take place, firm should be at least in a point level A. So the part of marginal cost curve, now very important statement, the part of marginal cost curve, MC curve, lying above shutdown point is called the supply curve. Lying above shutdown point is called supply curve of the firm. 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 So this point, my dear friends, lovely friends, this point from here to here, that's called the supply curve. Oh, so MC curve represents the supply curve. Yes, not the entire marginal cost curve. No. Only that part of marginal cost curve that starts from the point where P equals to AVC and goes above, not below it, never below it. Only that part that lies above the point where P is equals to AVC. Am I making myself clear, friends? Yes or no in the chat box. Fatafat, everyone. Okay, guys, if this much is clear, it's time for some question answers to go on. What say, guys? Come on, everyone. Come on, everybody. What say? Fatafat, boliye. Come on, everyone. Yes. Great. Very good. Ankit, only necessities. Okay. So yes, everybody is understanding. So pay attention. Sir, why? Now if you will ask me why, I will tell you. You see, it's because below this point of MC, the firm will not only produce, they will stop supplying. Are Baba, who will make the loss? Why will they make the loss? Yes, sir. Great, sir. So my dear friends, it's time for some MCQs. Are you all ready? Come on, everyone. Are you all ready? Yes, sir. Okay, let's go then. Let's see who is able to answer this perfectly. Question number one. Point at which price is equal to average variable cost is called A, shutdown, break even point, C loss point, profit point. Come on guys, let's have a look. Let's see how many of you are able to answer me completely. Very good. Divya, Gunshita, Vagdehi, Zeba, Ikta, Jasgun. Great answer guys. Great answer guys. Correct answer. The answer is, since sir you are talking about a price is equals to average variable cost, you are talking about shutdown point. Okay, shutdown point. Next question, let's see. Next question, let's see. Very good Himanshu. Great answer friend. Okay, so pay attention guys. Pay attention guys. Question number 2. Yes. Point below, if price is below AVC, firm should start more production, B shut down, C continue work, D can't say. Come on everyone, what say? What should the firm do in case of point number 2? What should the firm do in case of point number 2? Very good Abhinav. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. You are correct sir. Very good yaar. Kya baat hai. All of you are giving correct answers only. I don't get the chance to be angry on you people yaar. This is not fair. A person should be able to express all the emotions. I cannot be angry with you all yaar. You will only give correct answers. Okay. Go ahead then. Let's go ahead sir. So question number 3. The question is, pay attention everyone, okay? Pay attention to question number 3. If price is equals to average cost, the point is called A shutdown, B break even, C both, D none. Come on everyone, tell me. Yes sir. Okay. Great. So yes, the correct answer is break even point. The correct answer is break even point. Yes, the correct answer is break even point. Fantastic yaar. So yes, question number 3 is also correct from you people. Now my dear friends, we are getting into a little deeper discussion. Now friends, we are getting into a little deeper discussion. Are you people ready for it? Are you people up for it? Because if you are, then only I'll start. Come on everyone, what say yaar? Are you already up for it? Are you all really up for it? Yes sir, we are. Yes sir, we are. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay. So pay attention everyone. Vagdehi is asking, sir, is break even and normal profit same? So my dear friend Vagdehi, now is what we are getting into. This is the discussion that now we are starting. So pay attention and listen very carefully. Okay? Pay attention and listen very carefully. Okay. So my dear friends, the concept is very simple. Okay? We are talking about, pay attention everyone. This topic is really one of those topics which if you don't pay attention to, you might miss out on all the things. Okay? So pay attention. You know, guys, a perfectly competitive firm, a perfectly competitive firm, you know, a perfectly competitive firm in short run can experience all the three. A perfectly competitive firm in short run can really experience all the three. What three, sir? A perfectly competitive firm in short run, my dear friends, can experience losses, can enjoy normal profits, can enjoy supernormal profits. So what are you trying to tell us, sir? What I'm trying to tell you, friends, is that a firm can experience any of the three. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that a firm can experience any of the three. A firm can experience any of the three. It can experience losses, it can experience normal profits, it can experience supernormal profits. It can experience any of the three. Pay attention. Now I'll explain to you what each means, and I will also show you the diagram of each one of them. Okay, but pay attention. One of our friends Vagdehi was asking the question about, you know, this normal profit thing. So now I'll explain it to you clearly. Okay, pay attention. Friends, let's say my total revenue is equivalent to 1 lakh rupees. Total revenue means by selling I have been able to make 1 lakh rupees. Okay, let's say my total cost, or let's talk about my cost. Okay, so the thing is I pay staff salary of 20,000. Okay, I buy raw materials for 70,000. Okay, yes sir. And my rent is the rent that I had to pay, but since it's my own house that I am doing the job in, I am saving the rent of 30,000 rupees. Otherwise I would have had to pay this one. Okay, now pay attention. Guys, everyone pay attention. Okay, see, what does normal profit mean? My dear friends, these two are explicit cost because these are actually going out. Rent saved is an implicit cost. Why, sir? Because had I taken an office on rent, I would have had to pay 30,000. Or you can look it like this, that because I am using my own house, you know, for the purpose of business, I am unable to earn rent on it. So 30,000 is my sacrifice. But that is implicit cost. Friends, the question was about normal profit. Dear friends, normal profit in economics is a situation where with your revenue you are able to earn both explicit cost and explicit cost, implicit and explicit cost. So total revenue 1 lakh, you see, at total revenue of 1 lakh I am able to make all this, and that's why this is a situation of normal profit, because in economics normal profit implies a situation where I am able to recover my implicit costs as well. Okay, but one of my lovely friends Vagdehi was asking, sir, what about break-even point? Friends, break-even point is a situation where the total revenue of the firm is able to recover explicit costs only. That is, if my total revenue would have been 70,000, then as per economics I have broken even. It's break even for me. Why? Because break even talks from accounting perspective. That's recovery of explicit costs only. But if implicit costs are also recovered, that's making normal profits. Now you people must be able to understand. हिंदी में भी सर एक बार समझाता हूं. हिंदी में अर्थ सिंपल है. जब आप कोई प्रोडक्ट को बेच रहे हो, बेचकर जो पैसा आ रहा है, अगर वो पैसा जो आ रहा है वो आपके कॉस्ट के बराबर है. कौन से कॉस्ट सर? कॉस्ट दो तरीके के होते हैं. एक जिससे पैसा सच में जा रहा होता है, एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट, और एक दूसरा जिससे पैसा आ सकता था बट आ नहीं रहा है. अगर मैं अपने घर को रेंट पर देता तो मेरे पास पैसे आ रहे होते हैं, बट मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मैं अपने घर को खुद के बिजनेस के लिए यूज करूंगा, तो जो रेंट आता वो अब नहीं आ रहा है. तो एक तरीके से पैसे का न आना भी तो पैसे का जाना होता है, पैसे का न आना भी तो पैसे का जाना होता है. तो अगर मैं वो वाला कॉस्ट जो रेंट का है वो भी रिकवर कर लेता हूं, जो आ सकता था रेंट, और साथ साथ में जो मेरा खर्चा सैलरी पर लग रहा है वो भी मैं रिकवर कर लेता हूं, तब उसे कहते हैं नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट। ब्रेक इवन एक ऐसा सिचुएशन है जहां पर मैं रेंट तो रिकवर नहीं कर पा रहा जो मेरे पास आ सकता था, लेकिन जो कॉस्ट मेरे लग रहे हैं, जैसे मेरे को सैलरी सच में देना पड़ रहा है, रॉ मटेरियल का खर्चा सच में देना पड़ रहा है, जिन चीज का खर्चा सच में देना पड़ रहा है, अगर मैं माल बेचकर एटलीस्ट उतना रिकवर कर लूं, तो उसे हम लोग कहते हैं, क्या कहते हैं हम लोग उसे कहते हैं सिचुएशन ऑफ ब्रेक इवन। ब्रेक इवन, my dear friends, now is this clear? Break even and normal profit difference, yes or no every friend? Yes or no every friend? Come on here. If yes, then I can start further, I can explain further, I can go to a little more depth, if you will allow me to. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Okay, so pay attention everyone, pay attention everyone. Guys, we have understood this. Okay, now let me depict to you all the three cases in the short run. In the short run, a firm can earn, come on everybody, write down in the chat, in the short run a perfectly competitive firm, in the short run, yes Anjana, correct, in the short run a perfectly competitive firm, in the short run a perfectly competitive firm can make supernormal profit, normal profits, or incur losses. Come on everybody, write it down in the chat. In the short run, before I draw the diagram, I need you to learn it. In short run, a perfectly competitive firm can earn supernormal profits, make normal profits, or might even have to incur losses, What say guys? Yes sir, it's correct. Yes sir, it's correct. Yes sir, it's correct. All right sir, we are able to get into that. Yes sir, we are able to get into that. Okay sir, so now let's start discussing each one. Okay, so pay attention everyone. See, pay attention everyone. See, this is the point. Here I have written price, here I have written quantity. Okay, now pay attention guys. Average revenue equals to marginal revenue equals to price, correct? Average revenue equals to marginal revenue equals to price, correct? Yes. Now pay attention. You all know that equilibrium is achieved when MC equals to MR. You all know MC equals to MR. So pay attention. This is the MC curve. You all know this very well. This is the MC curve, correct? Having said that, this is the quantity level that is going to be sold. So I have written it Q here. Okay, quantity. Q mane quantity. Now pay attention guys. Having said all this, now guys, what is going on? Pay attention everyone. Till now, we are able to understand the equilibrium point. Now guys, you all know MC passes through the minimum point of average cost. Yes sir, we do know it. So let's say, let me use different color altogether. So yes, this is the average cost, average total cost. ATC means average total cost. So guys, you all have a look here. Where is this average total cost intersecting the quantity level? At this level. So this is the total cost, basically meaning that here I draw another line, the point where this line and ATC are intersecting. Okay, so you all see this point is the price and this point is the average cost. Quantity is here. So my dear friends, this gap that I'm shading right now using a different color. Let's say the color I'm using is a little blue. This, my dear friends, is the zone of supernormal profits, because you can see price is greater than average cost. Price is greater than average cost, that is cost per unit of a product. This zone, this blue zone, is called the zone of supernormal profit. Means firm is not only able to recover normal profits but also able to earn more. Means the rent, more than the rent also I am able to recover. In addition to the rent and explicit cost, I am able to recover even more of the same, even more of it. That's the zone of supernormal profits. That's how you find it out. Sir, how do we identify where supernormal profits is? You all see price is above average cost, simply meaning that the price collected per unit is greater than the cost incurred per unit of the product, and therefore it's indicative of supernormal profits. It's indicative of supernormal profits. Supernormal profits, right? Yes, sir. Having said this, now what I'll discuss with you all is basically an indication of normal profits, or rather a situation where the firm is able to recover all the costs only. That is the situation of normal cost. Okay, so average cost is being recovered now. Pay attention. Normal profit zone. Again the same diagram we start with. Price equals to MC equals to MR. You all know this, equals to average revenue. Okay, not MC at least, because marginal cost, this curve has to be drawn. It's a U-shaped curve, MC curve. Okay, so I'll draw only this part of the marginal cost curve. I need only this much. Okay, now after this, one MCQ question will be asked to you all. Okay, so pay attention. Now pay attention. So this is the equilibrium level, and so this is the quantity level. Friends, having said that, now MC equals to MR. Now MC equals to MR. So here it is. It's the average total cost. It's the average total cost. Correct, sir? Yes, sir, correct. So, sir, when you are able to find it out, now what are you noticing, guys? When you are able to find it out, average total cost and this quantity levels and everything, what is happening is that price has been able to be equal to average total cost. That's what's representing normal profits. That's what's representing normal profits. Okay, sir, got it, sir. Yes, sir, got it. Now my lovely friends, one more thing. Now my lovely friends, please pay attention. Average total cost and everything is cool, no worries. But now, this is how the normal profits look like, because you see the price and average cost are meeting at the same place itself, and therefore it's the situation of normal profits. But before I explain the loss situation, obviously I'll draw the diagram for loss also. You need not panic about the same. But I have a question. A part of which of the following curves represents supply curve? A part of which of the following curves represents the supply curve? Your options are marginal cost curve, average cost curve, average variable cost curve, average fixed cost curve. Come on everybody, your answers please. Everyone, your answers please. Come on everyone, your answers please, everyone. Pay attention everyone. Great. Correct, Nandini, very good. Zeba, good answer. Lakshita, wrong answer, friend. Rohini, correct. Everyone correct, correct, correct. Oh, sorry. Rohini, you have given the correct answer. Okay, correct. So the answer is marginal cost curve. It's the part of marginal cost curve which represents the supply curve. It's the part of marginal cost curve that represents the supply curve. Can you tell me which part of marginal cost? I mean above which point? Just a question that struck in my mind. Above which point of MC? Above which point of MC? Can you tell me, guys? Above which point of MC? Can you tell me, guys? I'm wondering whether you are able to tell me or not. Yes, sir. Correct. Above the average variable cost. Above the average variable cost. So that point which lies above the average variable cost. So yes, part of MC curve is the supply curve. Above which point? Above the AVC. Above the AVC or above the shutdown point. Correct? So very good here. Above AVC or above the shutdown point. You are correct. So don't worry. Both the answer you have told is correct. Now pay attention. So friends, I have shown you all the diagram of supernormal profits. I have shown you all the diagram of normal profits. Now I am in a situation to show you the case of losses. I am in a situation to show you the case of losses. So pay attention everyone. Here I start the diagram for you all. The losses situation. The losses situation. So see, y-axis, x-axis, price is equals to average revenue equals to marginal revenue. Yes, yes sir. Then we draw the marginal cost curve as usual. You all know. So sir, the initial parts of diagram are always the same from what we observe in your diagrams. Correct, and that's representative of the quantity levels. Now is where you need to focus. See. Average total cost this time will be above the price level. So average total cost will be in somewhere here. As a result of which, what is happening is I will have to extend this line a little further. Can you see it? And now I will join these two. So what do you see, guys? This is average cost. Now here average cost is above price. So my dear friends, this part that I am shading red now, the part that I am shading with red color, it's representing the situation of losses, because average cost is greater than price. Because average cost is greater than price. Because average cost is greater than price, obviously. And that explains everything. And that explains, my dear friends, everything. Correct, sir? Correct, sir? Correct, sir. My dear friends, is this much crystal clear? Come on, everybody. Is this much crystal clear? Yes or no, everyone? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, sir. Friends, having understood this, the long run situation is very simple. You know, pay attention, everyone. Okay. So another thing that you need to remember about the long run, which is the only important part about the long run. Okay, the part about the long run in a perfectly competitive firm, pay attention everyone. The part about long run in a perfectly competitive firm is that in the long run, the price, average cost, average variable cost, everything is the same, not the average cost. See, so average revenue in the long run marginal revenue, price, long run marginal cost, and long run average cost. Obviously there is no variable cost concept in the long run. This is the long run optimum allocation, and so and plus there will be optimum allocation of resources will be judiciously utilized. So plus optimum allocation of resources. Short run, so many diagrams. Long run, just remember this, and that's good for your examination perspective. Optimum allocation of resources. What's the keyword here? Optimum allocation of resources. Optimum allocation of resources. Is it crystal clear, everyone? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my dear friends, you see, in the perfect competition, what we have learned is that in the short run, the firms will be able to make losses earn normal profits or earn supernormal profits? Earn normal profits or okay? Okay, yes sir. Go ahead sir. So now what is happening is, in the short run, supernormal profit, normal profit, losses, all the three are possible. You see, supernormal profit is situation when price is greater than average cost. Normal profit is a situation when price is equal to average cost. And when average cost is greater than price, then that is a situation of losses. But there is not so much going on in the long run. In the long run, in the perfectly competitive firm, it's the general mode is that the firms will earn only normal profits in the long run, because what will happen in the long run. What will happen in the long run, guys? What will happen is, due to increasing supernormal profit, suppose in the short run there is supernormal profit, so new firms will enter the market to make that profit. So the existing firms who were making supernormal profit, their profits will fall. And if suppose in the short run you were making losses, so some of the firms will leave the market. As a result of this, in the long run, only normal profits. Can be earned by a perfectly competitive firm. Come on, everybody, write it down in the chat. In the long run, only what can be earned? Come on, everyone. Yes, sir, you are correct. In the long run, only. Very good, yaar. You all are absolutely correct. In the long run, only normal profits can be earned. Short run, both. Long run, normal profits. I'll write it down. So a perfectly competitive firm, if you talk about the short run, can make all the three: supernormal profits, normal profits, or may incur losses. But in the long run, it will only make, yes, you are correct, in the long run only normal profits. Please remember this. Very important question. Long run, normal profits. Long run characterized by earning of normal profits only. Wrong run, my dear friends, is characterized by earning of normal profits only. There is no doubt about this fact. Guys, is that clear? Come on, everyone. Is this much clear? Okay, great. So now moving on, guys, the good news is perfectly competitive market is over. Whatever we have discussed in the class, if you have understood and if you have listened to it carefully, it's good enough. You will be able to definitely tackle questions. Okay? Yes. Great. Moving on. Now, my dear friends, having said all this, now let's pay attention. Let's move on to the next market structure, which we call as monopoly. Okay, all right, sir. Okay. Guys, yes, there is monopoly, but in few cases you will see monopoly. I'll give you some example. In electric supply, in case of electric supply, like for example, in Calcutta there is CESC, Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation. They have monopoly over electric supply. In Bombay, I believe, student from Bombay, please confirm, there is BSES who takes care of electric supply. Similarly, in your respective cities, because I am not aware of all, there are different electricity supply companies which have their own monopoly, right? Similarly, in case of railways, also we see monopoly. So yes, in general there is no pure monopoly, but yes, in some cases, in case of public utilities, services enjoyed by the public, in case of public utilities, some kind of monopoly is definitely seen. So monopoly market structure is the second type of market structure. Okay, guys? Okay, sir. Correct. Go ahead, sir. Moving on. Now friends, please pay attention. Okay, and remember that in the long run, the fund will be in equilibrium here. This is the situation. Bus. You need to remember this only. Okay. Now pay attention. Monopoly, electric supply and railways. These public utilities, electric supply and railways. Okay. Electric supply and railways. You know, these are public utilities. Okay. So having said this, let's talk about this further. Let's talk about this further. Electric supply and railways are public utilities. Electric supply and railways are what? Public utilities. And they are a kind of monopoly. So what are the features of a monopoly market, sir? What are the features of a monopoly market, sir? Let's try it out. Let's try to understand and get into the concepts of the same. Okay, let's try to understand the concepts of the same. Okay, so pay attention everyone. Feature number one. There is a single seller of the product. There is a single seller of the product. There is a single seller of the product. So there is only a single seller of product. There are not multiple sellers. There is only a single seller of the product. So there is only one seller who is selling the product. Full stop. There's only one seller who is selling the product. Full stop. Only that is going on. Only that is going on. So feature of monopoly market is that a market characterized by a single seller of the product. You know, products are having no close substitutes. Point B, products are having no close substitutes. It means yes, there might be other brands selling the product, but like our brand, there is no close substitute. You know, for example, railways. If you are trying to travel by railways, can you tell me of any transportation medium which is as cheap and as fast as railways? You will not be able to tell me. If you want to combine both, you know, cost effectiveness and time effectiveness, you will not be able to cite any other example. So yes, now you may tell me bus, but bus will take more time. You may say car will take more time and more cost. You may say aeroplane, it will take less time but more cost. So there is no single substitute that you can, you know, tell me about this. Correct? So there it is. Single seller of the product and they have no close substitutes. They have no close substitutes. Point number C, it represents barriers to entry. You know, there are barriers to entry. What barriers? We will talk about this in details. You know, like there is some kind of license you need or huge money resources you need in order to enter a monopoly market. So not everyone can enter. Just like in perfect competition, everybody was able to enter. Here, everybody is not able to enter. So not everyone can enter. Not everyone can enter this market. Not everyone can enter this market. Not everyone can enter this market. So there is this barrier to entry. Okay, great. Barrier to entry. Point D. You know, they decide their own prices. Price is determined by the seller only here. Price is determined by the seller only here. It means it doesn't happen by the seller only. It means it doesn't happen that, you know, prices are determined by, you know, the market forces this time. Because here the monopolist is the single seller. So the degree of control over price is high. In fact, you know, in our last class, I had explained this as well. So degree of control over price is high. They have a higher degree of control over the price they charge because they don't have any competition, na? So they can pursue their own policy. And you know, the customers are also, you know, severely impacted. Sometimes. Okay. So yes, sir, we have got it. Price determined by the seller only. Now, my dear friends, these are some of the main features of a monopoly. Number one, they sell the product alone. There may be other seller, but there are no close substitutes. And next is, unlike the, you know, previous market structure where there was no barriers to entry, here definitely there are barriers to entry. So it's not that you can, you know, on your free will come into the market and go out of the market. There are certain barriers to entry. And who decides the price here? Yes, you are correct. Price is determined by the seller only. Okay. So having said that, now the question is, why do monopoly arise, or how do they arise? Sources behind monopoly. So I'll tell you now. You must be wondering what are the barriers to entry. Okay. So I'll tell you. If you all were asking me, na, sir, you are telling that there are barriers to entering a monopoly market. What are the barriers? This is what I'm explaining now. Barriers in a monopoly market. In our institute's material, it is also written in a different language. How do monopolies arise? Both are the same thing. How do they arise? Because of the barriers that they have. So let's see. How do monopolies arise? Like why does it happen that somebody has a monopoly? So let's find it out here. Point A. Point A can be, guys, it means that somebody has a control over a resource which is scarce. Scarce resource. Control over scarce resources. Strategic control over a scarce resource, input or technology. Guys, when Reliance started with this Jio, for Jio, they had to build a completely new technology. The way we talk over call, the way we talk over, the way we chat, the way we use internet, it's completely new technology that Jio had to build. Now, for somebody to come into the market and be as big as Jio, it's a very difficult thing to do, because Jio has a control over a scarce resource, which is the technique, the input, the technology that they have. The technology that Jio possess, not many possess. And because of the strategic control over such technology is why Jio is able to command a significant share in the market. That's why Jio is able to command a significant share in the market. Correct, sir. Correct. Point or second case of monopoly could be acquiring a product which others can't copy. I'll give you an example. You all know this Coca-Cola, the formula to make Coca-Cola, only 2 or 3 people on earth know it. You see, it's so strategic, and that's why normally brands are not able to copy Coca-Cola. That's what they're saying, that they are acquire a product or a technology that nobody else is able to copy. The way Domino's, see, if you go to a local pizzeria, you will get good pizza, I don't doubt that. But will they be able to copy the taste of cheese burst of Domino's? Absolutely not. Yes, they will sell cheese burst pizza, and I'm not saying it's bad, but the cheese burst pizza of Domino's, I don't think you can tell me any other example which they will be able to copy. I don't think you will be able to tell me any example, because there isn't. The thing is, there isn't any such example. You see? Oh, got it, sir. We have got it, sir. Yes, my lovely friends, that's what I'm saying. If you have got it, it's brilliant, fantastic even. If you are able to acquire a product or a service which others cannot copy, which others are unable to copy, which others can't copy or unable to copy. Point C could be exclusive rights given by the government. Exclusive rights by the government. Sir, can you give us an example? Like for example, in India, BCCI, Board of Cricket Control in India, they have the sole power to represent India as far as cricket is concerned. There is not as big as any, let's say if you create a team of 11 players who are supremely good, you cannot start your own body who will go and play with Australia or who will represent India in the World Cup. You cannot do that. That monopoly is with BCCI only in India. Correct. Exclusively rights given by the government. Exclusive rights given by the government. Sir, can you cite some other example as well? Yes, this CESC example that I was telling you, Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation, because the government, Bengal government, and this, country government has given it to one group, Goenka group. That's why they are able to take control. Had they not got the control, they wouldn't have been able to do that. That's what they are saying. Exclusive right given by the government. Exclusive right given by the government. Point D, cartel formation. Cartel means, though it is illegal, in general it is illegal, but sometimes governments come together to form a cartel. Can you tell us some cartel names, sir? Yes, I can tell you a cartel name, na? OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Yes, OPEC. So now, OPEC are few countries, like Kuwait, Iraq, and all this, who have a lot of oil reserves. So once they have come together, they have become a monopoly. Once they have come together, they have become a monopoly. Got it, sir? Okay, go ahead, sir. Point E, you have taken some patents and copyrights. Such patents and copyrights that now nobody will be able to copy your product. Patents and copyrights were given by the government. Yes. Patents and copyright. Exclusive right by the government. It's like our own institute, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So yes, they have been given exclusively right by the government. Cartel basically means when some of the sellers come together and work together as a group. OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, like Iraq, Kuwait, in all this, they have come together, called OPEC countries. Okay, yes, sir. So they have become a monopoly that way, by combining together, Okay, now moving on. Natural monopoly by economies of scale. Sir, what does it mean? I'll tell you what. Natural monopoly by economies of scale. What is it saying, sir? Natural monopoly by economies of scale. My dear friends, what this point is trying to say is that sometimes when you produce on a larger scale and when you produce on a massive scale, when you produce on a large or a massive scale, what starts happening is the per unit cost is so low that nobody will compete with you. I'll give you an example. Suppose, guys, you want to enter chips business. Obviously, then you will want potato as your raw material. Obviously, yes, sir. Can you produce chips in a cost as low as Lay's can do it? Come on, everybody, tell me. Or let's say you want to enter a cold drink market. Can you produce as low as cost as Coca-Cola, or let's say, this Thumbs Up are able to do, Pepsi are able to do? Come on, yeah, tell me, will you be able to do it? Never ever. And as a result of this, because they are operating on a large scale, their per unit cost is so low that no other can enter. I gave you an example in our discussion. In our discussion, in the very beginning, I gave you an example that let's say, for a 60 rupees bottle of Coca-Cola or Pepsi that is around 1 liter, do you know it takes only 60 paisa for them to manufacture? Just imagine. Can you all, along with packing charges, make 1 liter Coca-Cola for 60 paisa only? Sir, not possible. Come on, yaar, Coca-Cola and all these things, they produce so large. Brands like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, I read it somewhere, they are in around 190 countries. So many countries are not in United Nations only. So they are so big. They're bigger than the membership of United Nations. Just imagine. So how low the cost per unit would be. That's the advantage we are talking about here. Sometimes, monopoly, guys, can arise because of, let's say, enormous goodwill due to operating from long term, because you are working from long term. Sir, can you give us some example? Yes, I can. My dear friends, today you see Maggie is not only selling the noodles, correct? Maggie, that is the brand name Maggie, is not only selling noodles. Today it is able to sell ketchup and all those things. So they are able to enter this market and do well in even in ketchup market because of the great image they enjoyed under the noodles market. The goodwill that they created in the noodles market. The goodwill that they were able to command in the noodles market. Because of that. Oh, got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. So yes, my dear friends, these are some of the points that I wanted you all to know. Sir, now one interesting thing. Despite being a monopoly, you know, there is one very important difference between monopoly and perfect competition. Monopolist, in order to sell more, will have to reduce price. Please remember, monopolist in perfect competition, price was the same. But here, monopolist, in order to sell more, will have to, I mean, there is no other option there left. Monopolist, in order to sell more, will have to reduce the price. It's not like it's an option. Will have to reduce the price. Monopolist, in order to sell more, will have to reduce the price. It's not a bloody option, you see. It's not a bloody option, you see. It has to reduce the price if it wants to tap more markets. Correct. Correct. So the fact that you are able to get this, guys, pay attention, everybody. I'll show you a chart, and this chart will make things clearer to you. This chart is going to make things clearer to you. ठीक है ना? So pay attention. See. So here I plot quantity. Let's say 0 to some level. Let's say 9, 10, whatever. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least till 7, okay? Now price and average revenue are always the same, okay? Price and average revenue are always the same. So let's say if price is 10 rupees, then goes to 9.5, then 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 7, 6.5, so on and so forth. Friends, what's total revenue equal to? It's equal to price into quantity. So now, friends, if total revenue is price into quantity, so 0 into 10 is 0, 9.5 into 1 is 9.5, 9 into 2 is 18, 8.5 into 3 is, 25.5, this is 32, okay, 7 into 5, 35, so this is 37.5, this is 42, okay, this is 45.5, go ahead, guys. Here it is 48, here it is, let's say, 49.5 around, here it is, let's say, 50. So what I'm trying to tell you all is this will continue. That is, in order to sell more, they will have to keep reducing the prices. Now what is marginal revenue equivalent to? Now friends, marginal revenue reflects the change in total revenue. So at 0 level, nothing doing, but beyond this, what will happen? See, total revenue risen by 9.5, here also total revenue risen by 18.5, total revenue risen by, let's say, 7.5, deduct, that's all I'm doing, that's all I'm doing. So 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, further 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, and this way it's continuing. 3.5, okay, 2.5, 1.5, 0.5, and this way it will keep going on. Marginal revenue may eventually become negative. Remember, average revenue is falling, but average revenue is never negative, because average revenue negative means that when somebody is coming to buy the product, you're also giving them money, which is obviously not logical to say. So that's why, average revenue is never zero or even negative, but marginal revenue can be negative. So how does the diagram look, sir? How does the demand curve look, sir? I'll show it to you. So it's somewhat like this. Please pay attention here. Both are downward sloping. Both are downward sloping. Like, there is no doubt about this. Both are downward sloping. So see, the demand curve is also sloping downwards here, indicating that in order to sell more, you are having to reduce the price. So this is average revenue curve, that you have to reduce the price. But the sharper fall is in the case of marginal revenue. Both are decreasing, though both are falling. The fall in MR is with much greater trend. The fall in MR is with much greater trend. So yani ki, so what I'm trying to tell you here is that both are negatively sloped. Both AR and MR are negatively sloped. That is, both are falling. Both AR and MR are negatively sloped. Both AR and MR are negatively sloped. But here arises the next point. That is, slope of MR is twice that of AR. Slope of MR curve is twice the slope of AR curve. Is twice the slope of average revenue curve. The slope of MR curve is twice the slope of AR curve. Slope of MR curve is the twice of slope of AR curve. So remember, slope of MR, what does it mean, sir? Means the rate at which AR is falling. MR is falling twice that rate. Means AR is falling more sharply. What does this statement means? Means AR is reducing twice as fast. I mean MR is reducing twice as fast compared to AR. As fast compared to AR reducing. Compared to reduction in average revenue. MR is falling twice. MR is falling at twice the rate. And always remember, which is obviously logical, but in case you forget, AR can never be equal to 0. But MR can be 0 or negative. MR can be 0 or negative. It's much like the world of marginal utility and all those things that we were discussing, where marginal words can become negative. Marginal utility can become negative. Remember? But we had discussed that total utility will not become negative and so on and so forth. So that's what we are discussing here. AR cannot be 0, but MR can be 0. AR cannot be 0, but MR can be 0. Okay, great sir. My dear friends, do you want to know one interesting thing? Yes sir, please tell us. One interesting thing is, before I start further, before I go to any other discussion, let's solve some MCQs. We have done 5 MCQs till now, 4 to 5 MCQs. Let's solve some more, okay? Let's see whether you are able to answer it or not. The question is, please pay attention everyone. Monopoly is generally seen in case of A, cars, B, communication, C, public utility, D, none of the above. What do you think is the correct answer, guys? Come on everyone. Waiting. Come on everybody, I'm waiting. Come on everyone. Very good, Rohan. Nittal, good answer. Great answer, Rohan. Keshav, good answer. Masum, very good answer. Astha, good answer. Correct. So your answer is very good, Rohan. Your answer is public utility. Generally, in the case of public utility. Okay. Next question. Monopoly arises due to option A, huge financial resources, B, patents and trademark, C, government exclusive rights, D, all the above. A, huge financial resources, B, patents, C, government granted exclusive rights, or all the above. What do you think is the answer, guys? Come on, everyone. फटाफट यार, फटाफट. Yes, you all are indeed correct. Correct. So my dear friends, it's correct. Monopoly arises due to all the above. Correct answer. Very good answer. Very correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Let's see what you are able to answer it or not. Let's see the next question. Come on, everyone. So the next question is, monopoly markets have no option A, close substitutes, price deciding power, C, both, D, none. Come on everyone, which one do you think is the correct answer? Come on everyone, which one do you think is the correct answer? Correct, sir. Monopoly markets have no close substitutes. You cannot say price deciding power because they have price deciding power. So the answer is they have no close substitutes. They have no closed substitutes. Okay. Next. In monopoly, slope of AR is equals to question mark A, 2 into MR, B, half into MR, C, 3 into MR, D, 1 by 3 of MR. Come on everyone. Oh yes, think. Very good, Harnoor. Very good answer. चलो सही है. So guys, pay attention. Some of you are getting confused now. You see, what did I say? MR was 2 times AR. So yaar, AR will be half of MR na, because I asked slope of AR, not slope of MR. So most of you get confused. So please pay attention. Pay attention. Read the question carefully. Because it was a slight trick and you all, most of you fall into the traps. Don't do that. Okay. Correct. So go ahead, sir. Let's go ahead, sir. Let's go ahead, sir. Very good. Rohini, correct answer. Sakaldeep, correct answer. Arshdeep, correct answer. Yes, Radhika, good answer. Correct answer, Tushar. Okay. So now, friends, pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. Now, just like equilibrium condition of perfect competition, we are discussing the equilibrium conditions under monopoly. We are discussing the equilibrium conditions under monopoly. So I want you all to pay attention, okay? Equilibrium condition under monopoly. Okay, so see. Equilibrium under monopoly. Equilibrium under monopoly. Pay attention, everyone. What happens to equilibrium under monopoly? Point A. It's the same. First of all, my hint for you all. Same as perfect competition. Equilibrium condition here is also the same in the short run, as we call it. Short run equilibrium under the monopoly. It's the same. What do you mean the same, sir? Zeba, you will draw the average total cost graph at the point according to situation. So if it's a loss, you will make it above. If it's at normal profit, at the same point as AC and as MC, and where MC is intersecting MR. And if it's the case of profit, you will draw it below the price level. So it all depends there. And obviously, nobody will ask you to draw diagram in the examination. So why are you worried about the same? Moving on. Pay attention, everyone. Short run equilibrium under monopoly. So pay attention. Condition number 1 is as usual the same. Is as usual the same. What is it, sir? What is it, sir? So I'll tell you all what the condition is. The condition, my dear friends, is basically MC is equals to MR. MC is equals to MR. Point A, MC equals to MR, and point B, MC cuts MR from below. So the equilibrium conditions are twin conditions. Number 1 is MC should be equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. MC should be equal to MR and MC should cut MR from below. MC should be equal to MR and MC cuts MR from below. Here also, sir, is all the 3 cases possible, like super normal profits, normal profits. Okay, sir. Okay. So pay attention. My dear friends, yes, here also he will earn super normal profits and normal profits and everything in the long run. So let me talk to you about the super normal profit condition here. Super normal profits. Pay attention here. It looks like this. See, the diagram I am just showcasing you so that you people understand how it was made by our institute. So see, average revenue, then marginal revenue here. Yes, you all know this, right? Yes. Then as usual, first marginal cost curve. So MC and MR intersect here. So that represents the quantity level, and there it is, the quantity level, and that's the price charged as MC is equals to MR at this point, right? You join this two, correct? So you have gotten what? You have gotten the price charged. You've gotten the price charged. You've gotten the price charged. What have you got? You've gotten the price charged. Now pay attention, everybody. Pay attention, everybody. This is the price charged because average revenue and price are the same thing, correct? But what about average total cost, sir? As I have told you, it will be below average revenue. So I'll draw it somewhere here. You see, average total cost. So you see, average total cost is intersecting this line here. So let me join this two here. So this is the average cost line, and thus the shaded part, the pink shaded part is representing what? Yes, it's representing supernormal profits. Supernormal profits. It's what? Supernormal profits. Correct. Supernormal profits. Isn't it, guys? So the diagram is reflecting the same thing here. The diagram here is reflecting the same thing. Then our institute has told us to see loss diagram. Normal profits also can be made, but the diagram was not that important. But you see the losses case here. What if there is losses? I'll draw the losses diagram also. So see, again the same logic I am pursuing here, that first of all let me draw the two curves, the AR curve and the MR curve, which is falling in a more fast fashion, the MR curve. And then you have the MC curve, and this is the point, and this is it. Now pay attention, it is touching it here and therefore becoming equal to this level, point B, and this is price level. Correct sir, correct sir, correct sir. But sir, where is average total cost, sir? Average total cost is somewhere above, because you see it's the case of loss. So you'll extend this further up and you will find out that this is the average cost being charged. So this red shade, now I'll shade it with red. This red shaded zone is indicating what? The situation of losses. But you know what interesting thing is? What interesting thing is, sir? Yes, tell us, sir. The interesting thing, my lovely friends, is that in the short run, a monopolist can make all the three. In the short run, a monopolist might be making supernormal profits, normal profits and losses. But in the long run, you see there is nobody to compete. In the long run, there is nobody to compete with the monopolist. So in the long run, since there is nobody, there is no one to compete. Since in the long run, there is no one to compete, it will only earn supernormal profits. See, this is how it is different. In the long run, what was being earned by the perfect competitive firm? Only normal profits. So let me highlight something for you. Let me draw a chart for you. Okay. Yes. So short run, long run. If it's a monopoly, if it's a perfect competition. In the short run, they can make supernormal profits, normal profits, or they can incur losses. But in the long run, monopolists will only make supernormal profits. Draw this chart, everybody. But in a perfectly competitive firm, yes, in the short run you make supernormal profit, normal profit, or losses. But in the long run, you are only going to make normal profits. Sir, because in the long run, perfect competition, there will be a lot of sellers. But in the long run in monopoly, monopolist will be alone. So he will be taking advantage of all the cream that is there in the market. Not anybody else could be able to take that advantage. So there lies the logic, friends. There lies the logic, friends. Is it crystal clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no, friends? Yes or no? Come on, everyone. Yes or no, friends? Come on, everyone in the chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So remember that a monopolist in the long run will make supernormal profits only. But to the contrary, a perfectly competitive firm in the long run will be making normal profits only. A perfectly competitive firm will be making normal profit only. Please remember it, guys. Please remember it, guys. My dear friends, please make sure you are copying it. So friends, what is our agenda for the next class? In monopoly, there is a concept of price discrimination. Today I am explaining you what is it, but next class we will discuss it further. So dosto, price discrimination is a situation where a monopolist is able to charge different prices for the same product from different people. Like for example, if I tell you, let's say in Indian Railways, if you are paying a fare of 2000 rupees, a person who is handicapped will get 50% discount. They will have to pay only 1000 rupees. That is what it is. That is what it is. That in the long run, you will be making only. In the long run, you will be making. In the monopoly, you can charge different prices from different customers, because it is only you who is there in the market. So you will rule the market. That's the logic I am telling about. Fantastic, sir. Fantastic, my lovely friends. And dosto, This brings us to the end of today. Next class, we will talk about this in details, price discrimination. So thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye for the day. Tata, everyone. Bye bye.